Alright, first thing first, we'll do a run up here. Got our aircraft into the wind, brake set. Mixture of S-power we'll do in a second. Carb heat's off. We're on the right fuel tank. We'll throttle up to 800 RPMs. And we'll lean the mixture out until we get our peak. Check our engine instruments, everything's in the green. We're going to check the magnetos. Looking for a slight drop. Looks good. Other side. Looks good. Vacuum suction we don't have in this plane. Carb heat comes on. Take it to idle. Carb heat's off. Alright, that was good. Go ahead and start getting ready. Takeoff. Flap set. Trim neutral. Primer is locked. Mixture is set. Carb heat off. Fuel still on the right tank. I'm going to check the controls here. Watch your legs. Full left. Check both sides. Ailerons look good. Full back. Full right. Controls are good. Confirm the door is latched. Fuel pump on. Landing light on. Flight instruments are all set. Transponder 1200. We're on the right radio. Go ahead and start our timer. Okay, so quick safety emergency briefing on takeoff. If we have an engine failure and we're less than 1,000 feet above the ground, then our game plan is going to be to land straight ahead within a 30-degree angle and pick the best field to land in. I've been at this airport a lot of times, so if that happens, I got a field in mind. If we get above 1,000 feet, then our plan would be to turn around and land back on the runway that we took off on. Not planning on having an engine failure, but we want to be prepared for it. And then just a quick for the camera, the purpose of this flight today is I am practicing commercial maneuvers, but I'm also planning on being a CFI in the near future, so I'm going to practicing talking through the maneuvers as I do them. Disclaimer though, I am not a CFI. Caesar is not my student, but that's what we're practicing today, and that's the purpose of the flight. Boulevardy traffic, Cherokee 9203 Juliet, holding short 35, Boulevardy. Checking traffic. Last check, lights, camera, action. Good all around. We are ready for takeoff. Visual check. Looks clear. Boulevardy traffic, Cherokee 9203 Juliet, taking off 35, Boulevardy. Alright, here we go. Full power. 2,400 RPMs. Engine is green. Airspeed's alive. 60, rotate. Man, this thing is really climbing in this cold weather. It's wild.
I feel like it took off faster than last time. Could have been the same though, right?
Yeah. Boulevardy traffic, Cherokee 9203 Juliet, right crosswind 35 will be departing to the east, Boulevardy. Cruise over there, we're going to go over by Canyon Lake. On the cruise over there, we want to stay below 2,500, and that's mostly to avoid the jet traffic out of Randolph. They fly 3,000 feet or higher, so if we say 2,500, then we'll have plenty of clearance from them.
That Canyon Lake in front of us?
Yep, that's Canyon Lake up there. So we already did our climb checklist, fuel pumps off, landing lights off, cruise checklist. We're checking our throttle, it's set. We're checking our mixture. When we get a little higher, we'll lean it out. Right now it's good. And then fuel is good, so we cruising. Alright, so we're going to climb up to 4,500. We'll start the maneuvers from there.
4,500 is the altitude?
Yeah. That's MSL, so that's not above the ground. That's based on sea level. So it's about 1,000, a little over 1,000 feet. So it's about 3,500 feet, give or take.
Taylor traffic, Skyhawk 6891 Hotel is overflying the field at 2,600 feet. We are 4 miles out currently.
Alright, so we're approaching 4,500. We'll level off here.
Taylor traffic.
Alright. So what's the first thing on the list? We got steep turns.
5 miles to the west. Going to enter runway 36 on the left downwind. Lockhart.
Alright, so what I really am practicing trying to speak through this.
Wind for runway 36, making right crosswind to depart the area.
So first thing we're going to do is get trimmed out here. A little bit of up trim right now. And then before we do any maneuver, we want to do clearing turns. This is when we're really looking for traffic. So I've already looked on the iPad. I don't see anything on ADS-B. But we're going to do 2 full 90-degree turns, looking for traffic, doing short scan intervals, just to make sure there's nothing around us when we start these maneuvers. So we'll start with the steep turn. So we're going to do about 50 degrees of bank. You're going to feel yourself get pulled into your seat a little bit. Probably 50 degrees, probably like 1.6 Gs is what we'll be doing. And we're going to do a full 360 degree turn, and then we'll come back and we'll do it the other way. The goal is to stay on our airspeed and stay on our altitude. So the steep turns, you're going to need
traffic airs on 1029, 3 miles to the north, runway RNAV 19 circle, runway 1, burn it.
Significant amount of back pressure because you're going to lose that vertical component of lift in exchange for the horizontal component of lift.
Taylor traffic, Airson 221, left crosswind 35 departing to the west, Taylor.
So what I like to do is right before I start the maneuver, I'll put in about two things of trim, just so it's not such intense back pressure. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and go into the maneuver. Going to be on a about 50 degrees bank. We need a little bit of power to keep that airspeed, that back pressure. We're going to hold that altitude, and we're going to come back around to our north heading. A little more power, airspeed's going down.
Traffic Airson 1029 established in the right downwind for runway 1. Touch and go, burn it.
Altitude looks good. Speed looks good. We're coming up back on our north heading. We're going to start rolling out. Pull that power out a little bit.
Forward pressure,
altitude looks good. We're back on north to go to the other side.
Maneuvering to enter the 45 for left downwind, runway 1.
A little bit of power as we get into that bank.
Taylor traffic, Skyhawk 6891 Hotel is gone into the downwind, landing runway 35. Taylor traffic.
More back pressure, speed looks good, altitude looks good.
Appreciate you sidestepping so we can get that
here.
approach, 36 Victor. No problem.
We're approaching back on our north heading. We start rolling out. Take a little bit of that power out. Forward pressure, and there we go. We're back on north. Take our trim out. Put our trim back in. That was a steep turn. I didn't see any traffic. I don't have any traffic on ADS-B. So we are good to go ahead and start the maneuver. Once we get on our heading here, I'll start it. Alright, so we're going full power, about 12 degrees of bank, right there, and we're turning as we're going. We're losing our airspeed. 30 degrees of bank right there. We want to keep that back pressure, keep losing our airspeed, keep the nose up, probably even a little more. We're just above stall and we're rolling out on south. Take that bank angle out a little bit, and there it is on south. So in that one maneuver right there, we gained like 700 feet. That's pretty good. So the Lazy 8s are a very boring maneuver. You really don't have to do much. The plane basically flies itself. So the idea is you go up, turn, break the nose, go down, and do it the other way. So pretty much all you have to do, I'll get on my west heading here, we'll do our clearing turn. We do have some traffic behind us, about 2,000 feet above us, but it's no factor. And we're heading away from him. So it's pretty much just going to raise the nose and put a little bit of a turn, like maybe 5 degrees. And just then from there, it's all back pressure. The plane will do the rest. And so again, visual reference, where you want the plane to be at each point. So 35 or 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 135 degrees. So just go ahead and demonstrate it here and then try to talk through it. So I'm putting in some back pressure, and I'm putting in a slight turn, and I'm just letting the plane do the rest. I'm not really worried about it. So we're letting the plane do it. We're just holding that back pressure. Holding that back pressure. So there's our 45 degree point. The plane just kind of cuts it by itself. So now we're at our 90. The plane's cutting it by itself. And we let the nose drop now. Let the nose drop. It's very little input from me. Now we're coming around to our east heading. Start bringing that turn out just slightly. Until we level off. And now we do the same thing to the right. Back pressure, just a little bit of turn, like 5 degrees, and just bring the nose up and let the plane kind of fly itself. So we're losing our airspeed, the nose coming down. We're looking at our visual reference, so we're coming up on 45 degrees. So we're letting the plane continue to turn, cutting through our 45. We want to be at 30 degrees in our 90. Here's our 90. And start letting the nose cut the horizon, let it drop. And we're dropping. Let that nose come down.
Taylor traffic, Skyhawk 6891 Hotel is turning left onto
we're
final for
taking
runway
out that
35,
bank
Taylor traffic.
angle. Switch our fuel tank. Fuel pump is on. Switching the left tank. Checking fuel pressure. We've got fuel pressure. We're good to go. And restart the timer for that. And lean out our mixture a little bit since we're higher too.
Which one are you doing again?
So we're going to do the steep spiral. So the steep spiral is a maneuver that
Taylor
you
traffic,
would
Skyhawk
use
6891 Hotel is on the left crosswind, Taylor traffic.
in the event you needed to get down quickly. So we're basically going to find a point on the ground. We'll, if it's a runway, that's kind of my favorite way to do it because you're setting yourself up to land on that runway. Because we're at 5,500 right now. So each spiral down, you should lose, give or take, about 1,000 feet. So theoretically, we're not going to go down that low. We'll probably only do 2 for the purpose of this demonstration. But theoretically, if we do 2 spirals around, we should be down to about 3,500. The key with this maneuver is you want to get that to your best glide speed, which is about 82 miles an hour in this plane. And you want to do a constant turn around a specific point.
Taylor traffic, Skyhawk 6891 Hotel is on the left, downwind, prepared to make a base turn. Taylor traffic.
It's 10:13. Yeah, I think we have time to do this, 8 some pylons, and then we'll have to head back. So, off to my left, I don't know if you can see that bend in the river. We're going to pretend that that's the runway, and we're going to spiral down towards it. So we're going to bring the power back.
Place traffic, seeing the ray.
And each time you come around, you want to clear the engine. So that's just kind of giving it some gas, just so the engine
runway 35, Taylor traffic.
can breathe, essentially.
Taylor traffic.
So we're bringing the power back, and we're going to pitch our airspeed for 82. So about 1600 RPM. So I'm giving the back pressure right now just to get our airspeed going. You see our airspeed's coming down here. And then we're going to start the bank, keep that airspeed, trim as needed. And we want to have a pretty steep turn.
South to the northeast, we will stop.
And you have to adjust for the winds too. So if the wind's blowing this way, you're going to have a steeper bank angle when the
Taylor
wind's
traffic,
pushing you
Skyhawk
against
6891 Hotel is on
your
final
target.
for runway 35, Taylor
So
traffic.
now we're over our target. I've got it off the wing here, so I'm going to start this turn. I'm pitching for that airspeed, and I'm just letting it, keeping that airspeed and keeping that point. And you can bank pretty steep if you need
traffic
to.
now. Skyhawk 956 midfield downwind for runway 36.
So we're keeping that airspeed. We're dropping altitude. We're coming up on 4,500, which is about right. That's one turn. Keeping that airspeed. We're keeping our point in sight. So there's one full turn, and we dropped exactly 1,000 feet. So that's right on target. Come around again. And we want to clear the engine, give it some gas. Each time we come around, we want to clear the engine. I've still got that bend in sight, so we're looking good there. Become a little tighter to fight against the wind here, so we can tighten up that turn. As we come around,
Vito traffic here, 681 Jerry Kilo, 3 miles to the northeast, clearing it downwind for 12, Vito traffic.
And we're coming up on 3,500, so I don't want to go too much lower than that, so let's call that the steep spiral. So our traffic pattern altitude for Bulverde is pretty much generally going to always be 1,000 feet above the airport elevation. Airport elevation at Bulverde is 1,080, so call it 1,100. Add 1,000 to that, so about 2,100. The altitude that we want to be at when we enter the traffic pattern. Bulverde traffic, Cherokee 9203 Juliet, 45 to left downwind 35 Bulverde. We want to start coming down at 2100. Start setting up. Alright, so now just a quick gumps check. So gas, good. Undercarriage doesn't matter in this plane. Mixture's good. Prop doesn't matter in this plane. Switches are good. Seatbelts are on. Alright, we are go for landing. And we're entering downwind now. Boulevardy traffic, Turkey 9203 Juliet, left downwind 35 Boulevardy. Alright, so I gotta focus now. We are gonna have a crosswind on this landing. And we need some altitude here. Alright, we are abeam our numbers. Power back. Flap set. Boulevardy traffic, Cherokee 9203 Juliet, left base 35 Boulevardy. Okay, we're watching our airspeed.
Boulevardy traffic, Cherokee 917 or 971, Papa Mike. We are 10 miles to the northwest, planning on runway 35, Boulevardy traffic.
Boulevardy traffic, Cherokee 9203 Juliet, final 35 Boulevardy. Not my best landing. Boulevardy traffic, Cherokee 9203 Juliet, back taxi 35 Boulevardy.